Well, those temperatures certainly warmed up across central Texas today, but ahead of an incoming cold front. Why exactly is that? Strong southerly winds. Basically, we have high pressure sitting right out in the Gulf of Mexico. The wind direction around it is perfect to give us that southerly flow and bring us plenty of moisture in the atmosphere. That results in a lot more cloud cover and a lot more energy for these storms to begin to form and reach severe potential. You can really see the trough ahead of the cold front. That's exactly where all of those showers and thunderstorms are beginning to form right along that line there, and we're starting to see a couple of them gain severe status just because the winds are enough to bring up some decent updrafts, which allow for the creation of some larger sized hail. And of course, that air has to go somewhere. It goes back down and causes some damaging winds. So we're continuing to keep our eye on it. My only concern is basically the ones up in Hill County right now and San Saba County. Right now we do have two of them that are severe warned, and of course that's going to stay in effect until about 6 o'clock, and it's mostly due to the size of that hail. You can really see the hail core right in the center there. Lots of lightning as well. Just be sure to stay indoors and of course stay weather aware because, well, this is just the beginning. These watches are going to stay in effect until about 8 o'clock tonight. And of course, that still means we can get severe storms after 8 o'clock. We'll keep you updated because the models are always changing. Severe risk has actually been pushed out to the west a little bit more. Still under that level 2 risk, especially for Waco, Temple, Killeen. And most of that is just going to be for the wind and the hail. Again, the tornado threat has pushed its way out, and the flooding threat, of course, because of how fast moving these storms are, not really much of an issue. Nonetheless, though, I got about 50% chance of those scattered storms tonight. Once we get past it, look at that. Temperatures actually cool down a little bit. The winds begin to shift. It becomes more of a northerly flow. We're still left with plenty of cloud cover going into our Saturday, but temperature-wise, look at that. We might actually stay in those upper 70s. You know what? I think it's time to bring out the old golfing clubs. That sounds like fun. Nonetheless, though, here we go. Over the next 48 hours, here's the models. Most of it kind of falling apart right as it hits I-35. It doesn't really make it all that far past it. Midnight, next to nothing. That's how quickly this entire system pushes through. We're left with strong northerly winds throughout much of our Saturday and left with a bit of that cloud cover. Same goes for much of Sunday. And I'm not expecting a ton of rainfall with this, but we could see some areas get a little bit more than others. I'm not expecting 3 inches out of Waco. Again, these are just going to be some models. They tend to overestimate just a little bit. Nonetheless, though, temperatures will stay actually relatively cool. I got a high of 80 for tomorrow. By Sunday, we might get down into those 70s. And then we start to warm right back up. I do have a little bit more of an active pattern making a comeback by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's just going to be some small scale systems. But as quickly as it is to cool down and see nice cooler temperatures, well, we're going back up to the 90s by next Friday.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. It's almost June, though, so we are getting close to those heat-felt days. Thank you so much, Jordan.